Hello, everybody. So, welcome to Big Bearded Nerd. This is our first live stream TTRPG. I am so excited to have you all here. I'm excited to be here with these friends of mine. We're gonna have some fun tonight. We have some mech-based shenanigans to bring to you for your viewing pleasure this evening. So, again, I'm Dwight. I'm the Big Bearded Nerd. I've been streaming for a little while here, painting minis, and I wanted to get into the live play stuff. I have to say a big thanks to Jake over here for teaching me the ropes on art production and behind the scenes production. So I'm excited to do this. I will just add that this is an MTD channel. We are part of the Mini Terrain Domain family of channels here at Big Bearded Nerd, so we're excited to throw some games up. The idea behind this channel, as far as games goes, is to try to highlight some of the smaller indie publishers, lesser known games, and we have a doozy for you tonight. So we are going to play Mecha Hack. Written by our friend Matt Click over at Absolute Tabletop, Fistful of Dice. This is a super fun mechanic, high pace, lots of action, lots of opportunities to have some fun. So we're gonna have a good show for you tonight. I'd like to turn it over to my players here tonight before we get started. I'll let them introduce themselves, plug what they want to plug, and then we'll get right into the action. So. We'll start with my mentor over here, the man with the beard, Jake.
Hey, Internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to be playing in Dwight's first game that he's running on the channel, and for my only second time ever playing Mecha Hack. And the first time I ever played was in a game run by Jeremy. That was a modified Chrome City game that we played in. So I'm very excited about this. I'm looking forward to playing with this group. I've played with Kaeryn a ton, but it's also first time, and Jeremy, but it's the first time playing with Jay. So this is going to be a blast. We are going to have fun with it. So yeah, that's all I got.
All right, let's go down to Jeremy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jeremy. I have a YouTube channel that I run called the Erasmus Expeditions. I do a lot of live plays of D&D and games like this, as well as a game system that I designed called the Expedition Engine. I really, really like story-driven, character-driven stories, but I also really love action and fast-paced, tear-your-face-off kind of games. And I'm really looking forward to getting into this. Mecha Hack is a spectacular game. I love running it. And I have a fantastic time playing in it. So I'm very excited to pull out another character. Tonight I'm going to be playing Mason Hart. He pilots Romeo the mech. And I can't wait to get to it, man. I'm glad to be here on the inaugural run on this channel. So breaking a bottle of champagne.
Awesome.
The old ship there.
I'm excited to have you. Jeremy is, I've played in a few of his games. He's actually the one that got me into Mecha Hack first of all. And always excited to game with him. He's a great storyteller, so I'm looking forward to being on the other side of the table tonight. All right, and Kaeryn, I'm not going to scare you tonight, so that's good. But let's, sorry. So,
man, I'm out of here. I'm Kaeryn. I have a very small channel on YouTube called Myth and Gears, where we play Mecha Hack and Harbinger and other D&D things, and also Genesis. So if you want to check any of those out, come on and see my channel. Anyway, I love Mecha Hack, just by the way, so I'm a complete geek. I started playing it, I don't know when they first brought it out. It was my kind of initiation to mechas, and I am so in love with it. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's good stuff. I was telling these guys, I watched Pacific Rim to get in the mood right before we launched here. So,
Awesome.
and Cole has a good idea for a Mecha Hack Call of Cthulhu crossover. So that's going to happen now. So,
Yes.
gonna punch.
Thanks, Cole.
Gonna punch Cthulhu in the face with a mech.
I actually have that pre-done.
Right? I'm sure.
Oh,
Awesome. And on that note, let's go down to Jay. Jay is a new friend of the channel that we met back at Jasper's Game Week in May, and we're excited to have him. So, Jay.
Hello, I am Jay, and thank you so much for inviting me to this. I've been looking forward to playing with these wonderful and talented people. I've been kind of been waiting for a while. It's exciting. I am a mech lover. Everything from every mech type show you can believe I'm a lover of. This is the first time though I've ever played this game, so this is going to be an interesting process. So don't hate me, but we're all here to have some fun. One of the things you can find me around is some socials here and there, but I also have the channel of the Emporium for the Wayward Gamer. So been doing some games on there for D&D, Scryer Vision, and then we're going to actually promote some of the stuff coming up. But mainly I'm a Star Wars Edge of the Empire GM and player. So it's kind of one of the things I kind of fancy myself on, and now Mecha Hack. So we'll see that. So,
Awesome.
But thank you again.
Yeah, and Jay and I are in talks to start running some Star Wars games on the channel here too. So hopefully keep your eyes out if you like Star Wars. We're going to be playing some games here as well. So who is ready to get started?
Oh yeah.
Anybody? All right.
Sky.
Right. So 7 years have passed since the Shalgari ended the kaiju wars. Over 2 decades of fighting left millions dead, cities turned to rubble, and the old government splintered. State military forces, fronted by elite mechs and their pilots, have mostly disbanded, leaving their members to find work in private security or as mercenaries. The Shalgari formed in the last days of the United Nations. They brought in the brightest scientific minds and engineers, who in turn provided the most technologically advanced weaponry to the world's most elite mech pilots. The introduction of the Shalgari turned the tide of the kaiju wars, first by stopping the rampant destruction of cities, then methodically hunting the kaiju until they were no more. Following with the end of the kaiju wars, some of the best from the Shalgari ranks banded together to form a mercenary corps. Now they fight for money, they fight for pride, they fight for justice, they fight for fun. They are the Mechspendables.
A dawn.
So cut to a scene. It's in the southeastern United States. The rolling hills, probably at the foot of the Appalachian Mountains. You see maybe in the distance, you see smoke rising from a small town that looks to have just fought some sort of battle. It's quiet until that quiet is pierced by the hissing, the whirring, and the thud of mechanical animatronics as they push their way through the forest and the foothills. A small group of guerrilla fighters are monitoring or are patrolling this wooded area, heading away from the town that burns in the distance. And then we cut to thousands of feet overhead. A large dropship opens its cargo bay doors, and 4 massive pieces of metal leap out of the back. We zoom into one of them, zoom in closer to the faceplate, and you see the pilot inside. Jake, why don't you tell us a little bit about Cowboy Danger?
Cowboy Danger is... You want the pilot description or the mech?
The mech. Yep.
Cowboy Danger is a mid-sized mech designed for quick hit and fade operations, support, get in, move fast, get out, whatever needs to be done. And that's pretty obvious by the paint job. Lots of silver showing through the paint job. Where it's been flaked, gouges in it. Some of the gouges have very shoddy but effective weld jobs, filling in where pieces of the exoskeleton have been damaged. I like to think that the right leg looks like it was salvaged from a completely different mech. And there's places where the Cowboy Danger plating has been forced on. It's crudely bent and carved to fit. So this one leg is a little bit different. And without messing up the aerodynamics, I couldn't get a true cowboy hat put onto the mech. So the whole side of the top and the mech, it's all painted to kind of look like a low riding cowboy hat with just a couple of fins that come off the side and curve up to look like he's actually wearing a cowboy hat. And you can see emblazoned in stencil across the chin of it, you see the name Cowboy Danger. Large curved sword attached to the back of it. And on the side, like looking like it's sitting in a metal cowboy holster, gunslinger holster, is a mech-sized submachine gun.
Okay, awesome. So again, these mechs you see, if you look down, you'll see on your HUD as there's looks to be two jump pods that are leaping from one side of the road to the other, almost like they're scouts for the party. There's 4 other smaller mechs, look to be relatively in relatively poor condition as they continue down the road. And we cut back overhead. You hear wildcard, Golden Squad is a go for interception. Wildcard, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So Wildcard's he's lounging in his cockpit right now, just waiting, and he kind of hears that noise that comes over, at which point he waits a few seconds and then actually gets in. And then you see this mech as he gets ready, sleek black, with the eyesight of just kind of yellowish red. He's a scout. So he is stealthy. He's like a ninja mech, just very, very sleek, very put together, kind of smaller frame, so not a huge torso, but he's built for running. Very mobile, very flexible in his design. And you'll actually see on the back of the mech, and that's where it says his call sign, and the mech says wild card. So he feels that he's one with the mech. It's a kind of a dualistic identity. So he's like, he is the mech and the mech is him. And it's one of those things where everyone just jokes about it because he's just wild. He just does things that people just look at him and go, why? And this mech is built for that. It's got he hides, he's stealthy, and he attacks from ambushes. It's kind of what he likes to do. But he's got a little bit of that crazy danger into him. So that's Wildcard. He's a Maverick Scout class, or chassis.
Awesome. So these go ahead.
One thing, he has a sword. That's it. He has got a sword on his that comes out of his arm.
Okay. Awesome. So again, these mechs come hurtling to the ground. They're closer and closer, within 5,000 feet at this point. And we close in on Eon Storm. Why don't you give us a little description of yourself?
So Eon Storm mech is probably on the smaller side of the ones that we've seen so far. Certainly not built for power. Also really doesn't look like it's built for mobility like Wildcard is, but definitely has maneuverability, and it looks like maybe inside of the cockpit is a little bit more higher tech than what you would normally see in some of the other mechs. The outside of the mech is kind of a dull gray black. It's definitely been beat up a few times. It's been around the block, but each of the dings, instead of being hammered out and tried to make smooth, has been incorporated into the overall design. So, and it's colorful. It's got blues and greens and yellows and purples, and it's painted in such a way that it almost mimics like a plasma storm itself across this mech. And as each new dent happens, it gets added to the paint job.
Awesome. Again, closer and closer. These, as again, your HUD shows no indication that these, this gorilla outfit below has any indication that you're hurtling towards them from above. Again, this looks to be it's a typical gorilla outfit. You're used to fighting these. After the end of the kaiju wars, as governments splintered, these local warlords just kind of took over in certain areas of the country. The southern United States is one of the, or what used to be the southern United States, is one of the worst areas in North America for this kind of activity. You spend a lot of time here, and this looks to be just a run-of-the-mill clean and sweep for you. And Romeo, we cut to you. Tell us what it looks like when your group. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what it looks like when your group finally makes landfall.
So I think there's kind of this quiet shot of this burning village, this burning town that's kind of smoldering and on fire still, and it's like totally silent, except for just like the flames that are kind of crackling. And then there's these four like thunderous like ruptures as one after the other the four of us land in kind of, the sound of like whirling hydraulics as they kind of power up and get into position. But of course, in like the one lamppost that's still actually managing to work somehow lands Romeo. Romeo is a massive mech. He's huge with a lot of very hard angles, but there are pink and red hearts all over the outside of his mech, and they all seem to kind of coalesce into a pinup style girl on a broom painted real large on the side. And there is a castle parapet in the background with a cartoon version of what the pilot looks like, leaning out the window with large eyes. And inside, we can't see the pilot yet, but we can see that the walls of the interior of his mech, anything that's not switches and buttons, is covered with tear-outs of magazines and pictures of girls that he has known, with him in a bar somewhere, 15, 20 years ago, just everywhere inside the cockpit of this mech.
Beautiful. As the four of you land right as is protocol for your operation. You land right in the middle, just kind of scattered throughout the formation. Romeo, you're kind of on the outskirts of the group, but you see there's a jump pod not far from to your right. Then Cowboy Danger, you land kind of in the middle of everybody. You see again the jump pod is kind of jump pod and Romeo are kind of to your rear and to your right a little bit. There are kind of like a 90-degree arc. You see all four of the what you know are basically mecha recruits. They're small mechs that have usually inexperienced or inexperienced pilots. These are not the mechs that you see the best pilots operating in. Wild card, you land just to the north of Cowboy Danger. Again, you can see all of these recruits in kind of, again, a 90-degree arc related to you, and Romeo is behind you. And in Eon Storm, you land on the other side of two of those recruits, but right immediately to your left, you see another jump pod. As you land, you hear through the radio, Golden Girl Squad, you are clear for demolition. Weapons hot. Let us know when you're ready for pickup. And I need everybody to go ahead and roll for combat initiative. You will roll your... What is it? Your... I don't have this in front of me now. Jeremy, you want to tell us what to roll?
I believe it is mobility or systems, whichever is better.
And so just you need to make sure you say what you're going to roll, and then roll it. I just need to know if you pass or fail.
And just for some of us that know, what we're doing is we're rolling a d20, and we want to get below the number that we have in that corresponding skill, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Thank you, Jay.
Ooh.
Fail.
All right.
Wildcard got mobility with a success.
Okay.
Does it matter where the success? Or
Nope. It just matters. All that matters is whether you go before or after the bad guys.
Okay.
Ian Storm rolled systems and passed.
Okay.
I rolled systems and failed.
And Romeo rolled systems and passed.
All right. So we have 3 passes and a fail.
Mobility
All right.
and passed.
So, Romeo, Eon Storm, and Wildcard, each of you get to take a turn before any of these others do. So, what I ask you is, again, you have, so you can choose between you who wants to go first and what you want to do. Again, you get to take 2 actions, and just let me know what you're going to do.
Wildcard, actually, the first thing Wildcard lands, he's like, my aching back. They forgot to fix the springs in this chair. What the? I thought the mechanics fixed this already. God. We landed? We're here. Oh, shoot. And he just takes off. And first action is to hide and try to find some cover, using some speed to flank the bad guys.
Okay. And
I'll tell you, Wildcard. The only thing that never gets old is you complaining all the time. He says with like a complete dry sarcasm.
Are we doing this right? This is an easy one. We gotta protect the recruits this time, or are they on their own? Hello there.
Michael.
No, these recruits are not yours. This is a guerrilla outfit. So this is something you've had these types of missions before. Usually it's because they are they're disrupting supply lines. They are causing trouble in the area. So these are. So yeah, I apologize if I wasn't clear on that. These are bad guys.
That's just me misunderstanding. So basically, coming on. They're just recruits. We're gonna fine. And he just kind of. That's all he's gonna do. He's gonna hide and flank them. So,
okay. So you're gonna try to flank.
Take cover and flank.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna move. So the closest one to you would be. Probably considered far. So if you wanted to move all the way to direct flank to them, it would be 2 movement actions to get there. You could start to flank them and still have an action, or you can take two move actions to get into flanking position.
I'm going to take two movement actions to get into that flanking hidden position and try. So I'm going to definitely try to hide so I can get in a next round to get an attack with an ambush.
So if you want to hide and move, that would be your two actions. Then I'll need you to make a presence check.
Is it mobility?
Or yeah, let's do mobility would work too.
So for my hide, which is a success.
Okay, so you're able to find, some downed a tree grove. You're able to use the distraction of landing to kind of get hidden in the trees before they take notice of you. Okay. So who's next?
So I think Romeo is going to. What is the closest one to us range?
You have a jump pod that would be near.
Near.
To you.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I think ranged weapons can shoot up to near at least. So Romeo kind of steps towards that one. His upper torso kind of swinging that direction, and as it does so, it kind of squares off its shoulders to its feet, pointed directly at this thing, and then the hips of his mech like lean outwards with like a noise, and his cockpit actually shifts downwards until it's set right about the knee level, and the plating on his legs like pops out, so it forms almost what looks like a TIE fighter on feet, and he's entering battle mode as a use action, and so what's going to happen now is to roll my reactor die. I'm a 4, so I should be good. So he's going to use action to enter battle mode, and then as he's doing that, he reaches up and pulls out from his back a large beam cannon that is nicknamed Love at First Sight. Mm-hmm. And he's going to take shot at this jump pod.
Okay.
All right, so I should test power. $11 plus 2 because it's a heavy weapon. I'm going to miss. It's a 13, which is what I have on my power.
Okay. So, and what kind of weapon was it again?
It is a beam cannon.
Okay. So
plasma on it.
These you take aim and fire at this jump pod, but it maybe the impact has thrown off your targeting just slightly, but you see that the trees behind this thing just shatter and then vaporize. You see them explode, and then there's just kind of evaporate into this puff of light. All right, that'll be your turn then.
Damn it, I hate fighting these things. Yeah, that'll be it.
Okay.
Yeah, they're so small, these damn little creatures. Romeo, you need to smarten up with that aim there. And as a use action, Aeon Storm is going to reinforce by punching into her computer, accesses Romeo's computer, and gives him maybe some better aim on that gun there. And reinforced. Your reinforced die. So you have a D6 that you can use to subtract from an attack roll or on a test made to avoid damage. And then she's going to, turning away from Romeo, I'm going to pull out the scatter gun that's strapped to her back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, she'll try to attack the other jump pod. Like she's on the other side of Romeo, right?
Yep, so there is a jump pod in, near to you, just past what I would say close range. So you can't quite reach, but not far at all.
Perfect. I'm not going to run to it. I'm just going to stand where I am and shoot it with the gun. Or try to anyway. Oh, I should have given myself that roll. So I rolled an 11 and my power is 11, so that is also on my fail.
And again, it's maybe you singe its shoulder pauldron just slightly, but the shot just goes over the side of it and just kind of disappears off into the distance.
I wish for those days when we fought bigger creatures. This is not even a challenge.
Okay. Let's see here. So it is going to... So now it's their turn. You've got a bunch of them here. So there's one of these jump pods that's going to move over to... it's going to move over to Romeo. And it is going to attack. I need you to make a mobility check. See if it hits you. It has these shoulder beams that just kind of light up as it starts to shoot at you.
I got a 12 out of 14, so it should be good.
Okay. Yep. So again, it misses you. It looks like you can almost see the pilot in this thing is you can almost see him shaking in the cockpit. It's clearly not the seasoned veteran that the four of you are. There's two others so I'm going to need, let's see. Just to speed this up a little bit, I'm going to need Cowboy Danger. I need you to make 2 mobility saves. You have 2 of these recruits that are taking aim at you.
Well, I'm just trying to roll under mobility.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them, huh? First one is a 6. That's a success.
Okay.
Second one is a 20.
Ooh,
However, I have adaptable robotics in my striker. So when I roll a 20 on a test, I can choose to re-roll the die and take the new roll. So whatever's about to happen, there's a grinding of gears as my mech makes the adjustments that my pilot didn't. I get a 7 this time, which is a success.
Okay. Again, these laser blasts just go flying over your shoulders. Close, but not really any danger to you.
Crikey! You all thought this was going to be easy. It's certainly not.
All right, I need let's see here. I need wild card. I need you to make 1 mobility save.
All right. I rolled a 17, but that is still under my mobility. So I succeed.
Okay.
I'm not using that dice again. I'm pulling out my jail dice because my jail dice seems to be good for this game.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna backtrack on that because you were hidden.
Yes,
so,
I was hidden.
I'm gonna make that. So I'm gonna change that here. Okay. So Cowboy Danger, I need you to make 1 more mobility check for me.
Right. That is a fail by 1.
All right. So this time, this third attempt, it actually does strike you. You feel this energy pulse like just blast into your rib cage on your left hand side. You take 2 points of damage. You would apply that to your shield first, and then your HP.
You're the first one
Your
to
armor.
be hit, Cowboy Danger. That means you're buying later.
I know what it means. You're drinking what I buy. Is that the armor? Is that soak and then it goes into HP, or does it actually AP?
It reduces your armor points first.
So the way it works outside of Halo, because we did it different in Halo, is once those are spent, they're gone.
Yep.
And they stay gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
And you don't have to actually use them. You can let it go.
So I can choose to let them go through and affect HP.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you only have that many for the game.
Got it. Oops, nope. That's wrong. Okay.
Okay. So, Eon Storm, you have 2 of these things. You have a recruit that closes ranks with you. On its way over, though, it does take a shot at you, so I need you to take a mobility check for me, please.
That is a pass.
Okay. And it has a submachine gun, and you just hear these bullets just whizzing by. It just kind of just thuds into the dirt at your feet. Maybe a couple of them go over your head. So, again, just this scared nobody that's shooting at you here. This jump pod that's next to you, though, it actually is going to... you see its shoulder opens up as it takes a shot at you with one of its rocket pods. You see its rocket comes shooting forward. I need you to go ahead and make another mobility save for me, please.
Ooh, that's also a success.
Okay. These guys are really bad at shooting.
You hear.
Mm-hmm.
Romeo, they're bad a shot as you are.
All right.
Hell's that supposed to mean?
All right.
Aim better.
Romeo, you see out of the corner of your eye, from the tree line that's quite a ways away from you, but you see this energy flash. I need you to roll mobility for me. You're good? Okay. So the shot goes over your head. I need you to make a systems check to determine if you can turn... you immediately know that this is likely a sniper. I need you to make a systems check with disadvantage to determine if you can spot this thing.
I don't know how, but I did make it with disadvantage.
Okay, all right.
With an 8 out of 9.
So you notice on the far end of the battlefield, just directly south of where Eon Storm is, there looks to be a small mecha that's perched on this kind of rocky outcropping, and it's well camouflaged, but you just catch the slightest glint of reflection, sunlight reflecting off the metal, and that allows you to focus your systems in that location, and then you're able to pick it up on your HUD. But it looks like there's a sniper. He is at far range from you, but on the other side of the battlefield from you. All right, it is Cowboy Danger's turn.
So there's a sniper, and it's out a ways.
He would still be far range from you as well. And you have two of these recruit mechs, these smaller mechs, right on top of you, and another one that looks to be running in your direction.
All right. Let's see. So I can attack once or twice if I make a reactor roll?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to take whichever the closest one is.
Okay.
And I'm going to draw this sword off of my back. And it is a sword. It has a handle on it, but it also looks like it's got a pretty wicked curve to it. It basically looks like a giant metal boomerang.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to just lunge in toward the closest one and make an attack against them.
Okay.
And meanwhile, Eon Storm is rapidly flicking switches and typing stuff in, and she will be taking your reactor die roll for you.
Oh.
That's my ability.
Okay. So that'll absorb the reactor die roll for my second attack?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll roll it instead of you.
Okay. Maybe this will work out really well for us then. So I roll against power for a sword attack?
Yes.
That is a 5. That is a success.
Okay. And you roll your damage die for that first attack?
D8. I get a 2. There are no modifiers? Just straight
Nope.
rolls? Okay. So, yeah, as he's coming in, I don't even say anything. I just lunge in, cut into this thing, and then as I lunge, you see on my shoulders these things that they almost look like old pauldrons from some frontier war, and they flip open, and you can see that there's dozens of little holes in them. And I'm using for my second attack, I am launching a missile barrage at the sniper.
Okay.
Because I can attack at far range with that. So testing power. Ooh, that is not a success. I rolled a 16 against a 12.
So you see as these rockets, there's like 5 or 6 of these rockets that come out in this barrage, and you watch, and Romeo, you're watching. You've got this sniper pinpointed on this rocky outcropping as these rockets literally just surround the sniper, just boom, 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 everywhere but where he's. I mean, like, if you could have taken the average, you would have right in the face, but just not.
I'm pretty sure you might need glasses, Cowboy Danger. That you missed, man.
Just doing my best to give him a good scare. Get him good and scared for you.
What you firing at?
You see that sniper over there? By now, the piece is running down into his gears.
Did you hit him or miss again?
A little bit of both, I think.
He just
Did
made
you?
his own
Oh,
private island down there.
You used your missiles, didn't you? Oh, you blew. Oh, I'm not even gonna say it this time. You blew it. You blew something.
Right. You just said you weren't going to say it, and you said it anyway.
Well, I wasn't gonna say the rest of it.
All right. So as you've closed ranks with these guerrillas, you notice that their equipment is it's in bad shape. I mean, you're noticing more and more as you know, it's been years that you've been fighting these as mercenaries, fighting these usually local warlords, and as it doesn't look like anybody's been able to replenish supplies. They're just haphazardly put together from scraps of other mechs. So I mean, this is it's almost boring to you fighting in a fight like this, because you've got these young kids that don't know what they're doing fighting in garbage equipment. But it's pretty clear this is one of the worst outfitted groups that you've ever come across. So let's move back up to the top of the order. So again, Romeo, Eon Storm, and Wildcard.
So what you're saying is we're the varsity team losing to the freshman squad?
Right. It might be the 78ers even. So.
We're not losing yet.
Yeah.
Got to make it interesting. Yep.
Just for me to have a visual of that, you've got Cowboy Danger with 2 of them in front of you, and there's like 4. You said there's 4 recruit mechs.
Yep.
There's these pods that are with the recruits.
So at this point, you've got kind of the center of the battlefield is Cowboy Danger. He has 2 of these recruit mechs right on top of him, and another that's closing ranks. On either from where you're sitting or from where you're standing, they're directly north of you. To the directly east of them is Romeo with one of the jump pods. Directly west of that central group is Eon Storm with a jump pod and a mech recruit. This the sniper is almost directly west of you, still at far range from you, but up into the hills a little bit as well.
Okay, and then there were 4 mechs or three recruit mechs.
There's 4 of them. Yep.
Okay, and are the 2 that are the 2 other ones close right next to each other?
There's 2 that are right next to each other, over engaged with Cowboy Danger. There's one that's near range from them, and then there's another one that's over by Eon Storm.
Okay, so that's the way. Okay, so it's over there. Got it. All right, you guys go. Just kind of getting an idea of who I'm going to get first.
The one thing I can never remember where it is in this book is the range on weapons. Does anybody else happen to know where that is?
I think each weapon might say it differently.
It just lists them as a light or a heavy.
Hold on a second. I think I just saw that not too long ago.
Yeah, I never remember where it is.
This quality content of watching us read the rule book as we play.
Hey, it happens. It's a game.
It does. It absolutely happens.
So heavy weapons just mean you have to use 2 hands for it, and you
Yep.
have to add 2 to your attack, but then you also
Right.
get to add 2 to your damage. I believe with range, it's just I don't know where that is.
I think it's in the range discussion.
Yeah, I looked at distance and what is it? Distance and
Yeah, I believe
movement and
so.
distance.
Melee is obviously close.
Close,
You have to
yep.
be close, and I believe
Your-
ranged is close and near.
Yep.
Unless,
okay.
and I
Unless-
think you have
unless-
to have a special one that has to say far.
Say far, correct. And distant is out of range completely.
Excellent. That works. So Romeo is still in this battle mode, and now that he has seen this sniper, he's going to kind of reach back, like way back in his seat, where like the seat kind of reclines back, and he has to use the toe of his boot to like catch underneath his dashboard to keep him from falling out of his chair. And he hits a switch, and as he does so, this heads-up display kind of grid work appears over the glass of his cockpit, and there's a real small reticle that kind of appears right where that sniper is and kind of, you know, blinks in 2 or 3 times, and he is going to be using his target array ability as a use action, which will give me... Oh, I have to test system for that. Let's see if it works. Ooh. No, that's a failure. So it kind of like comes up and he's like, "Now I got you, you son of a bitch." And then it like fizzes out. No. And he like reaches back and like starts hammering his fist against the console that contains that switch. It's just not going to work. But he is going to move forward 1 range band. This kind of strange motion of his legs pivoting at the knee and just moving really, really fast. And that should put him within near range. And he's going to target Love at First Sight. Oh, wait, I moved a range band in a use action. Oh, so that's it.
Okay, so
Oh,
which way? Where are you moving again?
I moved up to near to the sniper.
To the sniper. Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay.
You having a bit of trouble getting it up, Romeo?
What are you talking about? This never happened.
All right, Eon Storm and Wildcard. You still have an opportunity here.
Would you like to go first, Ian?
Sure. As a use action, Eon Storm is again accessing Cowboy Danger's computer and giving you a better targeting system. So you will have a reinforcement die, a d6 that you can roll to subtract from either an attack roll or a roll to avoid damage.
Right.
And then, so the smaller mech recruit has closed with me, but the jump pod is still at near range, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Eon Storm basically is ignoring this smaller mech that's right there. I mean, if she even has to kind of like elbow it to get a shot at the jump pod, that's what she's going to do. She's not paying attention to this, the mech that's right there. We're going to aim the scatter gun at the jump pod.
Okay.
Oh, yay! I finally, that's a pass. I have a really bad power roll. So. Scattergun. My damage is a d6. But I get +2. So, okay. So that'll be 4 points.
4 points of damage. You can see this thing. Your scattergun just shreds this thing. You see armor flying, bits and pieces coming off of it. And there's hydraulic fluid that's starting to spray out of the sides of it. It's still operational, but you've done some significant damage to it.
So I guess that leaves wild card. It's like, ah, are you fiddling around with his systems again? Ah, nice shot. And he says, now it's my turn. He kind of like, and the straggling guy that's charging up to Cowboy Danger, he just runs out from hidden. The sword kind of comes out, and he just slices right into him.
Okay.
Attack from hidden, I believe, is the process that I'm looking for on this, and it's a power attack, correct?
If it's a sword, then yes. Yep.
Yep. Okay. So it's a 9, which is a success.
Okay.
But because I'm hidden, because he's a scout, he has ambush, and I have advantage on attacks from hidden. So I don't need the attack, but if I roll a 1, I know that I can.
Right.
It does really good. But so I hit him, and I have a damage of a D6.
Okay.
Because I'm ambush, I get an additional D6. And that is going to be a total of 9, a 6 and a 3.
Tell me what it looks like when you eviscerate this poor child in this mech.
So as I behind it on this car, I just step out and just kind of like, as I'm running towards Cowboy Danger, about to do something, the sword comes out, and I just run right past it and just decapitate the head of the thing and just keep going. It's just like, not even bother. He's like, all right, see, I took mine out. Do I have to help you too?
So, Cowboy Danger, your back is turned to this when this happens, but you see the 2 recruits that are engaged with you are looking directly at this when this happens, and you can see them shout. You can't hear anything, but you can see the fear on their face, and they just start screaming. Looks like they're both screaming somebody's name, possibly. It's as they watch their friend just lose their head, literally. All right, so we are on to them. So, Cowboy Danger, I'm going to go ahead and need you to make 2 mobility saves for me, please. As these, one of them is making a shield bash. So he has this armor plating on one side. It's like not really a holding a shield, but there's armor plating on one side that's noticeably heavier than the other, and it charges at you. So I'm going to need you to make a mobility. Okay. So you just kind of sidestep this thing as it just kind of glances off of you, and it's now it's on the other side of you as it tries that.
Right, easy there, lass.
Okay, and then go ahead and make another one as the other one does the same.
That is also a success.
Okay,
5.
so you're just like dancing with these 2, almost like it anybody watching
it's a line
looks,
dance.
It looks almost choreographed because you're too quick for them. As soon as you know, it's almost like you know where they're going. As they
Now
take
slide to the
steps
left, slide to the right. Now well, how's that go? I don't
right.
That goes
But you notice both of them as they finish their attempt to attack you. There's just like a light glow, like this light blue glow of the electronics that are inside of the shield, and it has it's almost like it brings a shield down, or it's reinforcing the plating on the shield of this mech. And let's see here. So Eon Storm, you need you to make 1 mobility roll for me.
Success.
Okay. And so again, the recruit that you've been ignoring also tries to shield bash you. It hits you, but it just doesn't do anything. It's just not strong enough to get you. But you notice that this jump pod, it leaps away from you, and it takes position basically directly across, taking a position behind Romeo and Wildcard now. As it then again, let's see, it's going to attempt to recharge its rockets, and it is able to. So it is going to take a shot at Romeo with its rocket pods. So if you make a mobility save for me.
Just barely.
Just barely. Okay. So again, it's he's. This,
Oh, wait.
Oh.
I have disadvantage on them because I am in battle mode.
Okay.
So hang on. Oh no, that's even better. So.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
So again, this is the jump pod that took a lot of damage from me on Storm, and it when it lands, you see these rocket pods open up on its shoulders again. But the leaking hydraulic fluid causes like one of his knees to buckle right as he launches, and they just kind of go shooting off into the distance. All right, and then wild card. I need you to make a again a mobility save, please.
Okay. I rolled a 14, which is a success.
Okay. And then okay. All right. We are on to Cowboy Danger.
All right. So I got these two kids in their mechs right up close that just watched their friend die horribly. Who of my Golden Gun squad is nearby?
I'd be near still.
Okay. So I'm going to make an attack action on the closest of these two with my boomerang sword. So test power. I thought that was a 1 for a second. That's a 7, which is a success. So that'll deal 3 points of damage.
Okay. Which one is this?
Whichever one of the two kids was closest.
Okay, they're both.
Sounds
equally,
horrible when I say kids.
Well,
but
that's basically what they are, though. So, how many points of damage?
3.
3. All right. And the other one? Are you attacking another one? Or are you doing something else?
No, I'm going to take a second action.
Okay.
I'm going to use my inspiring speech to just look over at Eon Storm, and
before you do that, you can incorporate the fact that you've killed this one into your inspiring speech if you so choose.
As my boomerang sword slices down right through the cockpit of this, what was that blue glow of electronics is now just the inside of the canopy splattered with blood. Mm-hmm. As the boomerang sword is wedged in, I just turn and look at Eon Storm. Whatever you're doing, you keep on doing it. You're doing a great job. I'm using my inspiring speech that will give you advantage on a single test made before the start of my next turn. And then because that was and then as I do that, I put one foot up on this mech, this other mech, and just shove it backwards off of my sword. Roll my reactor die for the thing. It's a success or 6, so I guess that's good.
Yep.
As long as it's not a 1 or 2.
1
right?
or 2, correct. Yep.
All right. How long does this D6 last?
Until you use it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Has Romeo made it to the sniper yet?
No. Nope. He is, within near, I think you said? Yeah, within near. So.
Well, don't worry, Romeo. If you can't get it, I'll get in there and finish it all for you.
All right. So we are back up around to the top.
So close to Eon Storm, there's a pod and a mech?
Nope, the pod jumped over behind you, so it is within near range of you now.
Okay.
But she does have a mech on top of her.
And then, so there's a pod and there's no mech near me anymore, correct?
Correct. Just there's the pod that's near range, but no mech.
I'll move up to the pod and take a swap at it.
Okay.
So using power and the sword again. Now it's just a straight, and rolled a 9, which is under power. So I hit it with the sword. for 5 points of damage.
All right. Tell me what it looks like when you destroy this one as well.
So as I'm running towards, I kind of see it, and I see the pod jump, and I suddenly just sprint over to it and just charge to it. And again, in the fashionable sliding knee move, come with the sword and just slice right through half of it, and then just end up right behind it in this pose of like, instead of, see, that's what you do. That's how you do it. What's taking you so long? Oh, come on. You got the sniper yet, or do I need to go take care of that one too?
You just keep stomping on cockroaches, all right?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Cockroach here, cockroach there. All right, who's next? And that'll be my turn.
Beautiful.
Romeo, do you still have a D6, or have you used it
do.
already? Okay, then go ahead. You can go first then.
Okay. So he's going to try once again, kind of toggling with that switch on his targeting array to see if he can't get it to work. Hey, I did it. Yes. 5 out of 9. Excuse me. So his that grid kind of once again kind of fizzes into existence across his canopy, and he says, "Oh, finally, thank you." He kisses his fingers and like puts it on like a worn spot on the corner of like this little panel of switches, and then he's going to level his love at first sight beam cannon once again, and this thing is a fairly large gun, and it has this vaguely kind of arrow shape to it, and it's painted solid gold, except for there's this like fat cherub in like a diaper with wings, like pulling a bow back on it along its side, and he's going to use this, and the end of it kind of opens, and as it does so, it looks like you're staring into the sun as this plasma beam is going to jet out towards this sniper with advantage. Right. So that is a 13. I'm going to use the die that I was given. That's -6. So that brings it down to a 7. That's well under my power. So I should hit.
Okay, yeah. You hit, so go ahead and roll your damage.
All right, this ball of plasma kind of streaks out from the end of the gun, and as it does so, it kind of elongates and then strikes this hidden sniper. I'm in battle mode, so that is an extra D4. Yep. Okay.
It's a heavy weapon, right? So you get.
It is.
Yeah.
Not great on the damage roll. Okay, so that's going to be 6 points total. And it is plasma damage, so it cannot be reduced by armor or shields.
Okay. So you just see this cleft in the rock that where this sniper was hiding. It just lights up. You see this bright orange glow as this plasma cannon just wreaks massive damage on this thing. As far as you can tell, it's still there, but it definitely is a direct hit. So, all right, Eon Storm.
Oh,
Rob, go
sorry,
ahead.
I needed to.
Yep.
I have to roll my reactor die for.
Gotcha. Yep.
The targeting ray.
Okay.
And are you near to me? Because if you are, then I can take that instead.
I am, and please do, because I rolled a 1.
Yep.
Okay. We're good. Rolled a 10.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right, so Eon Storm, you're up.
Okay. A lot has happened in the last round. How many people are left? There's the one on me, the mech on me. There's one mech left on Cowboy Danger?
One left on Cowboy Danger, one on you. There's the sniper, and there's the other jump pod.
Still a jump pod. Okay.
Yep.
And the jump pod is
It's
far
far
from
from
me
you
right
right
now?
now.
Okay,
Correct.
I am going to shoot at that jump pod.
Okay.
Oh, and I get an advantage on this one because of the lovely, inspiring speech from Cowboy. Sweet. 5 under 11. So perfect. That would be a hit.
Okay. Good deal.
And it will be... Ooh, I rolled a 1, so it'll be 3 points.
3 points of damage. And again, you see it. This one looked to be in bad shape to begin with, and it's losing hydraulic fluid again, and parts are just falling off of it as you hit. That was with your machine gun, correct?
Yeah, the scattergun.
Scattergun. Okay. Oh, scattergun. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'm going to lean into the mech that's standing right there, basically, and with my outside calm voice, pretty soon you're just going to be all here by yourself. How's that sound to you? And as a use action, as I'm typing away, I'm going to give... Romeo, are you still near? Yeah, you're near. I'll reinforce you again. You seem to need it. Wildcard's doing pretty good on his own.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. Wildcard's good. Yeah, he's just...
Wildcard still has good eyes. Romeo, not so much.
All right.
Good
So
genes is what I got.
as you see that, so Romeo, you notice that this sniper looks to run. All of a sudden, disappears off of your systems, as it looks to be just disappears behind the rock outcroppings. And as those of you that are engaged with the two, so Cowboy and Eon Storm, you've got these two mech recruits that are engaged with you. You can see that both of them, almost like they kind of like cock their head a little bit, like they're listening to something. And immediately, both them and the jump pod drop their weapons and just stick their mech arms up in the air. And you can see these two mech recruits are just like, they're mouthing like, we give up. So they're clearly waving the white flag in front of you.
Probably the smartest thing you've done all day.
Walk up to one of them and start banging on the top of his head. You said they're smart? Are they? Kind of gives him the look over. Kind of flies the sword into him. I'm just teasing ya, and just puts it back in. And did you get the other one, or did you let it rabbit off?
No, he's scared. He ran off.
Do you need me
I
to
don't
go
think he's
track
going to
it?
be in trouble.
Do you need me to go track him down?
Oh, look, man, he's a kid. He's scared. He made a bad decision, that's all.
All right. We're good here? All right. Kind of leans back and legs back up on the thing and kind of goes and sits further away on brings his mech to the outskirts as a watching. Yeah.
All right.
I think as Romeo kind of turns back out of battle mode, his cockpit shifts upwards from knee level up to hip level again, and the hips can kind of then start to head back in. One of them sticks a little bit kind of out, and you're like, oh, damn it, and he kind of like reaches out with the mech's fist and like hammers it until it kind of pops back into place.
Telling you, this hip, man.
Beautiful. So as you I'll round up these guerrillas. You get them. You collect their weapons. You encourage the pilots to disembark from their mechs. Maybe one of you hops down and ties them up, and one of you calls over to your dropship. And you hear, Golden Girl Squad, please prepare for arrival. We'll be there in T-minus 45 seconds. And the dropship comes in, and some MPs come out and they take care of the prisoners, haul them off, and you have some other mechanics that come out and they transport. It takes a few minutes, but they're able to transport these mechs onto and have them stowed on the drop ship. And you each take your place and you take back off. And it takes you're in flight for probably another 45 minutes to an hour as you return to base. And as you pull up, you're flying into the hangar at your base. I'd like one of you to describe what the base for where Golden Girl Squad is returning.
So I think it's got to be a mountain. Like I kind of see this, bunker and a mountainside kind of entrance where we're approaching. Everything, the concrete and everything, the sections is painted in these diagonal yellow and black stripes, and there's swirling yellow and red lights kind of everywhere, razor wire all over the place. But it's really all kind of condensed into just this one little spot that's been carved out of the side of the mountain.
Okay. So, and you approach this mountain. This drop ship, it's actually like a hover ship. So it comes flying in. It flies in hot, and it's just kind of like nose down, or nose up, tail down, and it just drops down. And the floor or the ground just opens up as you kind of drop down into this mountain base. You drop down a couple of 100 feet and then land on this hover pad. And then the roof above you again closes back up. As you disembark, this head of maintenance corps comes running up to you. Somebody tell me what this head of maintenance corps looks like and what his name is, or what their name is.
The head of maintenance corps?
Yep. So they're coming up to take care of the mechs that you've been, also the ones that you've been piloting and also the ones that you've recovered. That's
Johnny Tools.
Johnny Tools. All right.
Yeah, Johnny Tools. He's a kind of an old, rough, round the edges mechanic. He's got grease stains on his lapel. He's got a big old stogie in his kind of chewing on it, not necessarily lit, but kind of chewing on it always. Slightly balding, but not too bad. A little gray in the beard. He's just kind of like, unimpressed with how much damage, anytime we get damage, he's just like unimpressed.
So so Johnny Tools walks up to the four of you. All right, girls, I hear you brought me back some goodies. And he kind of looks you over, the four of you, and he's like, I see you couldn't manage to take out these nobodies without taking some damage to my stuff, though. At least you got me some more parts. He looks over to the maintenance crew that's unloading the gorilla mechs. All right, take them over to Bay 5.
I saved you a full chassis. I just took off its head this time for you.
Yeah. You did good work bringing this stuff in, but if you could do it without doing so much damage to my stuff, I'd appreciate it.
Don't look at me, Tools. I didn't get touched. Look, you can see my baby's clean.
And he kisses his fingers and taps the outside of the mech.
Yeah, Romeo, you always seem to be the good one. Well, y'all head on in. I know the mess hall's got some stuff waiting for you, so.
You see from Cowboy Danger, the back of the cockpit opens up, and you hear the pilot clambering down, boots on the metal rungs of the ladder, and coming down the steps to meet everybody else. And what you see is a sort of middle-aged, heavy-set blonde woman wearing blue jeans and a flannel shirt. She's got a kind of ripped Carhartt on with the Golden Girls logo on it, both for the Golden Girls squad and the original Golden Girls. And she's holding a piece of electronics in her hand, and she goes walking right up to Romeo and she just shoves this piece of electronics into his chest. If you put that Australian voice mod in my mech again, I am going to kick you with my pointy-toed boots right in your chestnuts until you can taste them.
I was gonna ask, do you have a saddle in that thing, or like what's with the boots? You got spurs you're gonna wear next, or you got stirrups up there?
I've never had any complaints about my cowboy boots.
Never.
Not when they're the only things I'm wearing. Of course, you'll never know. And then she
Not
just
for lack
turns
of
and walks
trying.
away.
So, Eon Storm, as you're dismounting, you get this. You see the head of Science Division has pulled up alongside you. Tell me a little bit about who this is. What's their name? What do they look like?
Typical science guy. Balding. He's got the widow's peak going far back, so he's got just a little bit of hair left. Glasses. Yep, you got it. Tape. Right there. Pens, lab coats, you name it. He's like your typical who you'd think would be running in a lab. And then he speaks, and he has the most sultriest, silkiest, deepest voice. It just melts hearts everywhere. Romeo wishes he had this voice and doesn't.
What's this scientist's name? We got a name for him?
Let's call him Tyler. Dr. Tyler Fitzpatrick.
Dr. Tyler.
By the way, I love how Kaeryn Cold Stone threw you under the bus, Dwight.
Right. So, Kaeryn, what's your pilot's name?
Donna Bray.
So, hey, Donna.
Tyler.
You have any trouble out there?
Well, Romeo couldn't hit anything like usual, but other than that,
he glares over at Romeo. Oh, I hate that guy. I hate that guy so much. So you're okay though, right?
Yeah, not one scratch on me.
Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad to hear that. So hey, I hear you hear the rumors about the Euro block. They've been dark for like 8 years since just after the wars, but there's rumors that there's talk again coming out of like Austria and whatnot. So I wonder if have you heard anything about that? I don't hear much from the CO, but maybe you've heard something.
I think at the talk of the Euro block going silent, you said?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just to the Eurobloc was part of the United Nations during the Kaiju Wars, but they've not been heard of. They just kind of locked down Iron Curtain for like 8 years now. Nobody's heard anything in or out.
Yeah, I think she goes a little bit quiet and stiff when that's mentioned. She would have hailed from there before joining up in the Kaiju Wars. And I forgot to describe what you see. This woman in this that comes out of this mech is also very slight. She probably doesn't stand more than 5'3", but her voice is really, really low. And she's kind of like the opposite of her mech, where it's kind of muted with the storm patterns going on it. She's got the neon purple hair, high as it could possibly go, in this beautiful mohawk, tattooed like you wouldn't believe, all up and down her arms. And she turns to the doctor, Dr. Fitzpatrick. You know how much I have been wanting to hear from them, and I haven't heard a thing ever since they gone silent.
Yeah. That makes sense, yeah. But I figured if anybody knew, it would be you. But I guess that's okay though. So we'll just go
But
back to our signal intelligence. But anytime we see anything, top brass sweeps right in, and I don't hear anymore. So I just wanted to know if you'd heard anything, but it sounds like you haven't.
So did you see something?
Well,
Did
there's
you
just
sneak in?
I've just heard that there's been some SIGINT coming out of that Eastern Europe area. So I don't know if it's them or if it's something else or somebody's trying to get out, but we don't know. Again, as soon as we see anything, brass comes in, they kick us out of the room. So I'm just research, so they don't let me stay in the room when stuff like that happens. But I mean, something's been happening. I just don't know what.
Well, thank you for telling me. And if you ever see anything again, please tell me.
Oh, you'll be the first to know, Donna. You can bet on that.
Thank you.
I imagine at this point, Wildcard is walking up past them, puts his hand on on Dr. Fitzpatrick's shoulder. He's like, Doc, hey, guess what? It's Taco Tuesday. You know what that means? You better get Wildcard prepped. Oh yeah, hey. Oh, hey.
And you see him, he just tenses, just like, oh.
Neon, you got something right there. Yeah, all right. Woohoo! And he just keeps walking towards the mess hall. And you just see this scruffy looking little bit of a tattoo. You can kind of see the top of it kind of down on his arms. Cigar smell, booze smell, just little. He's in somewhat pretty good shape, but he's got that beer belly. He's got that dad belly now kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just this personality of doesn't care. But some of you know that he actually is he's somewhat not crazy, but he just takes risks. But he's a dual side because he was trained as this elite warrior, and he kind of walks that way as he's walking away, because it kind of comes and goes. But he's short hair, brown, black, and kind of like that scruff, decent build. Where he's got this nice, not bomber jacket type situation. He's got a T-shirt underneath it with a logo of some sort of kaiju, and I love kaiju on it. It's some nice, that military type boot.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just kind of walks away, and he's combination. He's not a Mr. T, but he's that combination of Murdoch, a slight version
Mm-hmm.
of Murdoch versus this just like rogue type mech warriors. So he just jumps. He's the first one to kind of like just does crazy stuff, but it just keeps going. It's like,
awesome.
Yep.
So the four of you are able to you come in, you say hello to the people that you normally would talk to. You kind of go your separate ways. A few days pass. Things are normal, and this is the way it is, the life of a mercenary, especially as part of a larger company like this. You have moments of intense action with days of boredom. Some of you may go out and spend some time in town. But you never really travel very far because at a moment's notice you may have to deploy. But a few days go by, and now we cut back to you. The four of you have just left your weekly briefing. Nothing new has come up. It's just you each get a status on your mechs, how the repairs have gone. All your mechs are fully repaired, restored, ready to go should anything happen. Everybody has a clean bill of health. The company's doing well. It's bringing in money, which is always a good thing. So now you're in the mess hall together, and the chef the chef who runs the mess hall is just brought each of you your food. This is not one of the perks of being in this company. Is you don't have a traditional mess hall where you're going through a cafeteria line. You actually get to go to like a real restaurant, and they make your stuff fresh to order. And today, the chef has brought your food out to you himself or themselves. So Jake, tell me who the chef is that runs this mess hall. Cook, chef, whatever you want to call him.
This chef is a very tall, like 6.5 feet tall Norwegian man who wears his hair in blonde braids, and he kind of looks like I can't think of his name now from that show, Coach Dahmer. Dahmer, was that his name?
Yep.
The guy that does the voice of Patrick.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of looks like that guy, but he's very Dauber.
Dauber. Yep.
Dahmer was an entirely different person. I don't want meals prepared by Dahmer. But yeah, he kind of looks like that guy, but very tall Norwegian look, and but he's very soft spoken, I imagine.
Okay. Does he have a name?
Everybody just calls him Dietz. Nobody knows why.
Okay. He brings out the plates in front of you, and it's what cooked to order, sandwiches, steaks, eggs, whatever it is that you've ordered for this meal. Oh yeah, I hope it's good for you. Yeah, Golden Girls, you're my favorite.
Dietz, you're awesome.
He's super tall, but super soft spoken. If there is anything that you ever need, you just come and you just ask. I'll have it for.
Yeah, thanks, Dietz. You're good people.
He kind of like scoots the plate over in front of him. It's got this big, massive, like slab of steak on it, and it's pretty red. Doesn't look like it's really even seen fire, or if it did, and then ran away in fright. And he's gonna kind of like be tucking this napkin into the top of his wife beater, and preparing himself for this delicious meal.
So as the four of you start to dig in, maybe there's some chit chat between you, catching up on how things have been going, maybe filling each other in on any local travel that you've done. You get about 2/3 of the way through the meal though, and all of a sudden the lights go out in the mess hall, and the red alarm siren starts, or the red alarm lights start flickering on. You hear just whoop 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 whoop. Attention, all mercenary squads, please report to the CO. Please report to the CO. This is not a drill. And you just hear immediately, like boots on the ground, everything's moving. And oddly enough, you hear helicopters within the first minute or so. You start to hear helicopters taking off, which is not normal for deployment. Again, the lights have gone down. The floors have these like LED lights in the floor that direct you to different areas around the compound. And now flashing red is the path that leads you to the CO's briefing room.
I picture Wildcard like taking a few steps, turning back, grabbing some more bacon, taking another step, grabbing something else, stuffing his face and as much as he can to make sure he gets it all, and awesome, and then just charges, trying to catch up with everyone.
Okay. So, are you all running? Are you all heading to the briefing room then? I would assume. Okay. So as you enter the briefing room, you see your commanding officer standing there. I need somebody to describe me again. Give me a name and describe what this commanding officer looks like.
Oh, Jeremy, your turn.
Yeah. So I think that this is a middle-aged woman who has like this shockingly white blonde hair, like tow-headed almost color, and it's cut into this kind of high-standing buzz cut, almost like Bridget Nielsen, in the 80s kind of deal. It's got like this fade on the side and everything, and she's got a face that looks like stone, and her name is her name is Commander Slab with 2 B's, and it says it real big across the top part of her chest, where she has like this waterfall of medals like hanging from beneath her name tag.
So as soon as you enter the room, Commander Slab turns to face you. She's again completely upright, hands clasped behind her back. Well, Golden Girls, y'all been complaining about being bored. You ain't gonna be bored no more. And she points over to the monitor, where you see this massive winged kaiju as it descends on top of your base. And that's where we'll take our break. So,
Right.
I was about to wait for Jake to send us off to break, but I forget that it's me.
I was about
show
to.
here, so-
You said send us to break, and I started to reach for my stream deck. And I'm like, oh wait.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break, about 10 minutes or so. Hang on. We will be back soon. See you shortly. And we are back. Thank you for sticking around, everybody. We're going to jump back into the action. So again, you've just been shown this giant mech, or this giant kaiju. 10 years after the end of the kaiju wars, there is this giant bat-like creature descending upon your base. You can see it. These helicopters that you heard taking off moments ago are being flicked out of the sky by this thing as it descends upon the base. It's getting closer and closer. You can see in the distance. You see the town that's not that you spend your weekends in. You can see that it's getting closer and closer. You can see the outline of the fences that surround your base as it approaches. Commander Slab is still there. She's like, y'all better get suited up. This is going to get real frosty real fast.
Whoa. Some real action as he slaps Romeo's chest. Real action! Yes! Taco Tuesday!
Oh Lord, help us.
I swear if he does that farting thing again, I'm not launching with him ever again.
At least it's a single pilot mech.
True. Very, very true. Is it wrong that I'm feeling like a giddy little schoolgirl right now?
This is giddy.
Yeah, can't you tell?
No, I can't tell. Do you have more than one emotion, Neon Storm?
Yeah. I could be happy.
Are you doing it now?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is my angry face.
see, it doesn't look any different to me. It's the same.
Probably because I'm always angry when I'm looking at you.
Excuse me, are y'all gonna talk, or are you gonna go try to kill this thing? Because it's getting closer.
Oh, yeah,
Wildcard's
yeah,
at the
sure.
door going, come out, we gotta go, come on, woohoo!
So as you're standing there talking, the sirens are going. Everybody's running around. It's pretty clear to you that no one really knows what to do right now because again, it's been 10 years since anybody's even seen these. No one everyone's out of practice with dealing with this. There was a very established way of dealing with kaiju back at the end of the wars, but a lot of the staff that runs the operations center that runs the space they were in high school and college age kids when this war was going on. So they were most of them are new. There's 10% of you left from those days that understand what this really means. You can see the terror in the face of these kids that are behind these computer consoles in the ops room. You can as you move to the launch bay, you see these the support staff, the science crew, the mechanics crew. Again, just terrified looks. They're tripping over themselves. They're dropping stuff as they're running from one place to the next. You hear the first officer over the PA. Everyone remain calm. You know what to do. We have faith in you. All mech pilots load up and launch. We have bogey approaching from the north. We need to launch as soon as possible. So tell me what it looks like when y'all approach your mechs. How you spin the systems up and get them ready to go.
First off, we're walking into the bay in slow motion.
Wow! There's the electric guitar blares in the background.
The immigrant song comes on.
Right. There's flames behind you somehow.
Confetti cannons.
So yeah,
I'm punching that cargo deck so hard with my boots as we're walking in.
So I think that as you approach these mechs too, the maintenance crews, they kind of stop almost in awe, like mouth agape, as this, you're a legendary crew from the Kaiju Wars, and these kids know who you are. They've gotten used to working with you, but now in this moment of absolute terror, they're looking to you like, please save us. We're gonna die if you don't save us. So it's this kind of mix of like pleading but awe at the same time. You can see it plastered across their faces.
I think Romeo is the kind of guy that works out too much to try to combat his like aging body, and so like his muscles are like to the point of almost being grotesque, and his skin is like the leather of like a boiled fruit roll-up, and he's wearing this kind of like white tank top that is 2 sizes too small for him, and he's got these mirrored sunglasses on, these like kind of aviator style glasses, and he walks up to the mech, and he kind of takes the like short sleeve button up shirt that he's got kind of slung over his shoulder kind of off and puts it on, kind of button it up and putting on these like leather fingerless gloves as he kind of looks up at this mech that's covered in these pink and red hearts.
All right, baby, here we go. Remember how to do this, yeah? We got this dance.
And after just like a little bit of a moment, he then takes the sunglasses off and puts them in the breast pocket of his shirt, and kind of reaches up and pulls one of these like extendable ladders down and starts to hand over fist up inside the cockpit, strap himself in.
Eon Storm, as she approaches her mecha, there's a couple of techs working, doing the final, little finishings up as getting ready. And she just kind of stops in front of, beside one of them, and is looking up at the mech. And she can tell that this one is particularly frightened of the situation. And so she just turns to him and says, "Know why I'm called Eon Storm and not Ion?" And the kid just looks at her. No. It's because I've been doing this for a very long time. I'm freaking old. I'm 35. And, at that point, she gets onto the little platform that's down on the ground, grabs onto it, and starts going back up into the mech as it's being retracted into the mech. "We got this, kid. Wait for me on the other side." And she'll disappear into the mech.
Awesome.
So Wildcard is just chugging. Just kind of giddy, but kind of not. He's kind of bouncing occasionally with a step as he's making these big, and gets to the ladder. He actually has to like run up 2 stories to up the stairs to the top to get into his mech from the top. And it's kind of a little bit of a slide at the end that he kind of jumps into to kind of pulls off.
It's like the Voltron slide.
Yeah, a little bit, but not a lot. Just a slide.
Jump in. Yep.
Yeah, it's just a little bit just to get on top so we can get into the thing. But as he's running up, he's getting past these all the techs. He grabs one of them. "It's kaiju time!" And he's running up to him. "We got the, oh, don't worry, yeah, woohoo!" And he's just all this excitement. He's just kind of like running up. He's like slaps one guy's on the butt. He's running up with like hands up, and he's running up and kind of grabs that thing and then throws himself into the chair. Kind of straps himself in a little bit, does this, and then all of a sudden he gets all this crazy. He just calm. He just goes silent. He takes about 5 to 10 seconds, and suddenly this almost like mystical meditation process, he closes his eyes and is just motionless as he's just internally recalling the mystical yin yang of chaos and calm to center himself for the battle.
Okay. Yeah, I think Cowboy Danger. We just need to see you now.
Cowboy Danger. As she approaches the mech, she grabs, without stopping, she grabs her Carhartt off from where it's hanging on the side of a toolbox, pulls that on, and grabs a cowboy hat, pulls that on, clambers up in through the scaffolding up to the mech, and right before she climbs in, she just looks to the rest of the Golden Girl squad, and as she does every time, though none of them hear her, she looks at the other three and just says, "Thank you for being a friend." But she says it in a serious way. As she gets in and starts spinning up her mech, humming a familiar tune. On the road and back again.
So, as each of you spin up your mechs, you head to the elevator that will raise you up to the top. Same place that your drop ship brought you down through before, and you see all of the support staff is standing around watching you. You see a few other mech pilots as they're getting ready. There's another launch bay on the other side of the compound that likely has some other pilots getting ready. But you see another wave of pilots as they get into their gear. But they're going to go ahead and launch you up first, and you just have this slow rise as you see just everybody just saying, "Yeah, go get him, yeah." As this elevator just rises up, and you look up and you see again that those giant blast doors as they separate slowly, and you look up and you see this beautiful moonlit sky. You can see the mountain, the tree-covered mountain just off to one side. You see the stars and the moonlight coming through. As you get to as you start to approach the top of it, though, you can hear this horrible, like, if you weren't wearing a helmet or you weren't inside of this mech, it would be an ear-splitting, snarling screech. You can almost feel the vibrations of the wing beats of this thing as it gets closer and closer. And then as you rise to the top, you immediately see it. You're facing to the north. You can see this thing is this massive. I mean, it's the size of the dropship that brought you back to the base the other day, and it's just these translucent skin between splayed out like bat wings. We can see the moonlight through the skin on its wings. It's this tentacled face, and you can just see this like slimy spittle just like flinging off of these tentacles on its face with these massive taloned claws on its feet as it just swoops in on the space. So I need you to all go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Mobile.
Think that's good, wild card.
I rolled a 1 on
Nice.
my mobility.
Huh?
I think that's good.
It's not bad. So.
Okay.
Did anybody else pass? 3 passes. Apparently,
Yep.
Cowboy Danger. Oh, everybody passed.
Nope,
Okay.
I got an 8
All right.
on mobility. That's a pass.
So you see this thing, and it is in far range from you as you come up, but it is barreling down straight at you.
My bad. I was looking at the wrong attribute. I did not pass. I failed.
Okay, so we have 3 passes then. Okay, excellent. So tell me how this battle kicks off. The first kaiju fight in over 10 years.
I think like as we're cresting kind of out of the base before like this platform's kind of locked into this highest position, even with the ground. Romeo has kind of activated the comms in between the four of their mechs, and he says,
You know what they say? Beware an old man in a young man's profession, right? Well, I'm about as old as it gets, so hopefully that saying means something, you know.
and he's going to look at this enormous creature and realize they might not make it out of this, but he's not going to say that out loud. Instead, he's going to turn towards this creature, and once again, you see his battle mode activate as his hips pop out, and he lowers down to knee level. And I'm going to activate battle mode once again, which I have to roll my reactor for. Okay, that's good. And what distance is this creature from us?
It is distant at this point, so it is not
Distant, okay.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, I am going to... Yeah, I'm going to use another use action. As the magazine at the back that kind of feeds into this, almost like a belt that feeds into the backside of Love at First Sight, kind of empties, and a different chamber opens and loads these plasma charges in that glow a slightly different color. These kind of a reddish color. I'm loading explosive rounds into my gun, and I need to roll my reactor die again. Ooh, okay, that's a 1.
No. I'm beside you.
Yep.
Right?
You're all close. Yep.
Yeah. So I roll for your.
You're all near. Yep.
For your reactor. So you're good. I'm good. I suck it away. You're good.
Thank you.
And Dwight, I am so sorry. I rolled a 15 on the die, which is under my 18 of systems. So
Okay.
I did succeed.
Cool. All right. It's a Friday night, right? We're all friends here.
I had one of those moments.
It's 2020. We're all having one of those moments.
It's been a 9-month moment at this point. So, all right. So who's next?
What type of terrain is the base? So it's flying straight at us
You're on the side of a mountain at this point, but as far as terrain goes, it's flat. You're in the base at this point, so you have a nice flat. I mean, you're well into the far distance where it's well. I would say so. Close and near are definitely this landing pad area. Past that, it's kind of a little bit rocky. So your far distance would be a little bit rocky. In the distance where he is, it's off the side of the mountain at that point. So
I'm going to move towards a position where if it just lands where it is, I'm going to be coming from that flanking side.
Okay.
But so here's the question. I have an ability called Cloaking Field. I can use an action to activate it and become hidden. Do I have to keep using that per round as an action, or does it, once it's been employed, it didn't say how long it lasts, and so I'm unfamiliar with that one.
What's the description on it again?
It's under the scout class of abilities and chassis abilities, and it says Cloaking Field. As a use action, activate your Cloaking Field to become hidden. Roll on your reactor die.
Yeah. So I think it would work just like anything else, where if you're hidden until you do something to become unhidden.
Okay.
So.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to use that. So my first action, as I'm starting to go, is to become cloaked, and then my next action is going to be moving to a flanking position, anticipating where this thing is going to be able to come and attack it from the side, from a hidden position, because that's what he likes to do. So I need to roll my reactor.
Yep.
Dice.
No, actually, as she's doing her systems.
Ooh,
I like that.
I'm
I like
rolling your
that.
reaction.
I like that. Eon is there's a
yes.
well, actually.
Actually, so we're still good.
Yeah.
Perfect. And,
I
and
like-
Sounds like the support the turtle in Sly Cooper.
Yep.
so and
Don't worry, I've got it. I'll roll your reactor die for you.
Yeah, I'll shunt away the power.
And just as he's about to, he kind of is taking a step. He looks back at you guys, at all the mechs, and you hear over the comms, "Today's a good day. Today's a very good day. If I see you in the mess hall, we'll have some fun. If I see you in the sky, just know you're the best." And he turns away and fades, and that cloaking field just kind of goes, and he runs over, and he's like, and you can hear the mumbling, "Kaiju war, where's that kaiju war? I'm waiting for that. Oh, kaiju, come on, it's coming. Kaiju war is coming."
All right. Excellent. Who's next?
You would see Cowboy Danger coming out and immediately takes off running. Correct me if I'm wrong, but under just a normal move action, I can close one distance span, correct?
Correct.
So I take off running, moving so that I'm at far distance from this thing. And then you hear, "Yippee-ki-yay, mother..." as I leap into the air and activate my jump jets, which allows me to move to far action. And my intent is to hop on the back of this bunkin' Bronco. I do need to roll a... now, here's a question. Do I have to roll my reactor die twice because it's once for the secondary action and once for the jump jets?
Is it just once per?
It's if the secondary action is the same as your first action, then you'd have to roll. But if
Yeah.
it's two different actions, like if you did it,
They're both move actions.
then yes.
Jump jets count as a move action, so it'll be two reactor die
yeah.
rolls. And I moved...
And I just want to make sure you're clear. This thing is at a distant distance, which is off the edge of the mountain.
Right.
Okay.
But by moving one distance span, that would change it to far distance.
Right. But
Jake's
if
like,
you-
I'm gonna land this jump. It's fine.
right. Okay.
All I got to do
Okay.
is succeed on my reactor
All right.
die.
All right. Well, that's just to jump. You still have to land.
Whatever. I said yippee-ki-yay. I said what I said. All right, first reactor die roll. What happens if it's... You don't want to roll a 1 or a 2, right?
No, you do not.
Okay, so it's an 8 on the first one. The second one is also an 8. So,
And now I need you to roll a mobility check to see if you land on this thing.
I mean, how bad could that be, right?
Okay, Florian.
Inside joke. Mobility. Got to roll under a 12. I rolled a 15.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything that can counteract that either.
I hadn't figured how steep this cliff is, so we're going to...
He's done this before. There's got to be a safety net under there somewhere.
Now, every once in a while, you get tossed off the bucking Bronco.
So and again, jump
I
jets
can take
are...
it. It's a one-shot, Dwight.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. So you fall 500 feet.
What?
I rolled a d6, and I said...
So you
if
hear,
it's- If it's...
Yippee-ki-yay, mother... And then you hear,
Ah!
oh, shh.
So,
Should have waited until I fixed his turbo thrusters. He's gonna pay for that.
So just so we're clear, I rolled a d6 and I said if it's even or if it's odd, it's tens of feet. If it's odd or even, it's hundreds of feet. And I rolled a 2, so it's hundreds of feet. Then I rolled a d6 again and I rolled a 5. So you fell 500 feet off the side of this cliff. Luckily you're in a mech. So go ahead and roll mobility again. And to see if you're able to control your landing or not.
That's an 8.
Okay, so I'm going to roll
Under
this
a
at
12.
disadvantage. Let's see here. All right, you take, you land solidly. You take 8 points of damage.
Because of the nature of this stupid action, I'm gonna soak all 3 of my armor points.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is the kind of thing that would blow your armor protection. So I'm gonna take 3 of. You said it was how much? 5 or 8?
Mm-hmm.
5.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll take that.
So you are now at. I will say you are now at far distance down the mountain from this from where you want to be.
Over the intercom, you just hear, "Didn't go well. Is it still alive?"
At least it's still alive. Get your butt up here.
All right. Do we? And so we still have. I think. No. Eon Storm. I think you have to go yet. So.
Always trying to be the hero, that one. And as she's doing that, she's going to be punching some things into the keyboard. And Romeo, you have a reinforcement die as your targeting array or little HUD thing just got a little bit clearer. She adjusted it for your eyesight. And I think I'll, as the other action, I will move towards, just one move towards the thing.
Okay.
We're not gonna go crazy.
One move towards it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it continues to move in. It is now moved in. It is still flying. It's hovering over the edge of the fence line. So it is at near distance to Eon Storm and Romeo, you moved up too? I thought, yeah. So Wildcard and Eon Storm both moved up. So it is now at distant distance from Cowboy Danger, and it is going to attack Eon Storm. I need you to make a mobility check for me, please.
Got a 3, so that's a success.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
What am I rolling?
Whatever your... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm... No, never mind. I was reading the wrong part of my screen there, so I apologize.
Scared me for a second. I was like, what?
All right. So that is its turn. So we're back up to the 2 of you, or the 4 of you.
So it moved to, did it do a ranged weapon or did it claw attack?
It was a ranged weapon. Sorry, it was its. So it opened its tentacles, kind of just parted, and this beam of light comes flying at Eon Storm, but misses.
Got it. Okay. Oh. I'll let the other ones go first. Let's see. Well, it's got to move closer, doesn't it? Actually, Wildcard is just going to get into a position and calculate where it's going to come in so that it's going to be just close to it where it comes in, and just so the next round the first thing he's going to do is just hammer this thing hard.
So you can get into, so you were in here, you can get to close range with it with one action.
Oh, so I'm...
Yeah.
Okay. So help me, because like I said, I'm new and I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
So you get 2 actions no matter if it's mobility or an action.
You get any of the 4 actions that you want to take. And but if you take the same action twice, then you would roll your reactor die. It's Mecha Hack. It's super fast.
Okay. So, okay. So basically then, actually, this would actually work out perfectly, because I will use one action or to move into close range with it, because I have to do it. And all you hear over the lines, it's Circle Cloud of Death, people. And as invisible, I suddenly become visible as I get into close range from them. And then I use a second action as the static cloud just permeates off and out of from the side. Some vents kind of come from the side and vents kind of come from the back. And just this static electricity kind of builds up in the large reactor. And then his arms kind of pop up a little bit. And then suddenly this discharge of gas cloud and this electrical just goes off in this circle. But the unique thing about it, it starts arcing around everything. And I use, so basically I needed to test my mobility for this cloud. And then I have to roll a reactor because I'm using the arc, at which point it will be affected by it and it will lose its turn. So let's start off with the reactor. So the static cloud says, as an action, I need to do my mobility, which success. If you succeed, it deals 1d4 points to 2 close enemies, and I become hidden. Now I'm going to do a reckless attack because I'm being this, which means my AP lowers by 2, but I get to roll 2 dice.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll 2 4-sided dice for the damage from the static cloud. Okay, which is, as I see it, it's going to be 4 points of damage.
Okay.
But because it's an ambush, I was hidden, I also get my ambush, which is a 1d6, so that's an additional 5. So I have a total of 9 points of damage from this static thing that went out.
Okay.
Now I have to roll a reactor.
But
Eon
Eon can do that because she is within
rapidly.
Yep.
Yeah, rapidly shunting the power from your reactor.
So I actually have to make 2 rolls because the first roll is from the situation, and then because it's an arc quality, I have to roll it again. And if we succeed on both of them, it loses its turn.
Okay. So first one, success.
Okay.
Second one, success.
Oh.
So now because it all should, and this is the technique that he just runs in there, shuts them down for the entire turn while you guys just basically pummel it. Now, here's the other thing. If I wanted to attack it with my sword as an additional sub action, do I have to roll? Because is it an attack or can I do?
You've used your between the movement and your action. That's your 2 actions there. So,
okay, perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
No problem.
So you see this thing as this cloud just it envelops this thing, and it's just you see this electricity just arcing through it, and it just kind of throws its head back, and it just shrieks as you see electricity just sparking through its wings. Through its tentacles coming out, I mean, there's a kind of like flash out with electricity sparking between them. It just shrieks and then it drops down to the ground. All right, that's your turn then.
That's my turn. I started off, so please finish it off.
You hear over the intercom. You just hear. Sometimes I swear. I'm wearing a $10 Stetson on a 5-cent head. And then you hear the sound of jump jets again over the intercom. I'm going to roll my reactor die. I'm going to use my jump jets to clear the distance back up the side of the mountain.
Okay.
And I would
that's
say
a 7.
Cowboy is not near to me at this point.
No, he's
No, I'm like 500 feet down the side of the mountain.
Yep.
Sorry.
So how where does that put me in relation to
So
this
I
thing?
that will put you at I'll let you get back to the top of the mountain with a far jump, but you're still far from the
perfect. So and then you would, if you happen to look over, I imagine you see one of those like classic from these types of sci-fi movies and stuff. You see that sort of shaky distant cam where it's sort of like looking to focus in at the edge of the cliff, and you just see these Cowboy Danger's mech hands just. You see her pull the mech up to shoulder level, and then you see those pauldrons flip open again, and you just hear as I'm going to launch a missile barrage. That's a power test. and a reactor die. That's a 10 versus a 12 power, so success, and a 6 on the reactor die, so a flawless. Which means I do 4d4 damage.
Oh.
Looks like I've only got 3, so I'll roll 1 again. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, and max 12 damage from these missiles that just.
All right. I think we got Eon, Storm, and Romeo yet to go here.
Go ahead, Romeo.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Right here. I'm your worst nightmare.
So Romeo is in this battle mode already. And once again, he reaches way back and flips that switch and is going to attempt to turn on his targeting array. So I have to test the system. Failure again. So he's just like, it's fine. It's fine. You know, it'll work. It'll work. It's fine. And then he's going to go ahead and pull up Love at First Sight anyways, because I am far.
You are, at this point, you are... no, you're near, because he moved... it moved towards you. Oh,
Okay,
no, I'm sorry.
perfect.
No, you are still far, because he moved...
Because I'm still at the pad.
Correct, yes. Yep.
Okay. Then I think range does near and far, so I'm going to level it at him and go ahead and shoot.
Okay.
All right. Oh no! I rolled a 19, so that is a huge miss.
Yep.
You have that attack, that D6, if that will help you.
It wouldn't, unfortunately,
Okay.
because that's without the +2 from it being a heavy weapon, and my power's only a 13, so even maxed out, it wouldn't help. So I'm gonna save it.
So not good. Okay.
I just imagine in these kind of movies, you just see this big beam weapon going across the sky, completely missing.
It like cuts into part of the mountain,
Right.
and like that part explodes because I have explosive rounds loaded.
Yep.
You're supposed
Oops.
to aim where it is, not where it was.
It's moving around. I'm trying to shoot it, but
Did he forgot to lead again?
Yes. Anticipate your enemy's movements.
Thanks, Mom.
And with that, I think, Ian saw Wildcard momentarily, and in that moment would be, I guess not even though she can't see you because you're cloaked or whatever, I still have like access to your mech systems, and so she is giving you a reinforcement die at this point as she's buffing up your weapons array or whatever you want to call it. And for my other action, I am going to ready my scattergun. Does that take a whole action? If it doesn't, I will shoot it as well.
No, you can shoot it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I will take my scattergun and try and shoot this thing. Oh no, that's going to be a fail.
Okay. So that's everybody's turn then? So this thing just lays there. I mean, you see these, again, this electricity is just arcing through it, and it just kind of twitches and just... But can't appear to do anything. So it loses its turn, and we are back up to the four of you.
I'm going to let everyone else go, and then Wildcard will finish it because he's technically hidden. So his tactic is everyone barrages, and then he's just going to... So.
Okay.
Okay. Romeo, again, he's going to kind of reach up and pound on that console and see if he can't get this janky system to kick in. And again, it worked. 6 out of 9. So it comes back on. That'll grow. And then he's going to level Love at First Sight once again at this creature.
Remember,
Disadvantage.
lead.
Yeah. Lead my ass. And he's going to. He succeeds that time.
Okay.
Because he followed her instructions. And so, once again, the end of it opens, but this time it's like the glow of like a red sun as this beam shoots out, elongates, and then strikes this creature and explodes. So that is a D8. I'm in battle mode, so it's also a D4, and they're explosive rounds, so it's also a D6.
Good grief.
And then I add a +2. Yeah. This is the one-trick pony. Oh my god. That I built him for. All right, so that's 17. That's 19 points of damage that cannot be dropped by armor or shields.
So tell me what it looks like when you drop this, when you end this thing laying in front of you. You hit the number
honest,
on.
I did not expect that.
You hit the number on the nose. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. Okay. So this thing opens on the end, and this plasma beam comes out, elongates, and zips across the space, and this golden arrow of a weapon kind of gleams in the light of the moonlight, and this thing just like passes straight through this creature as if it were made of like chocolate, and you can just see it kind of trail off into the distant night until it becomes like a star itself kind of in the distance, and there's just this large perfect hole kind of carved straight through this thing's heart. And he goes, got it. He kind of pulls up the gun, and he pulls the gun up to like his mech's face, and like there's like this hollow noise.
I love it.
They sure don't make them like they used to.
And then out of the cloud, Wildcard stands up and looks over as the body just falls next to him, kind of sidesteps as this creature just falls dead, and puts his foot on it. Nice shot, it. Yeah. And looks back over as he sees the Cowboy Danger sitting there on that, and looks over, is like, you coming?
So Romeo, as you're standing there, you've just downed this thing, and you can hear the elevator as it locks into place behind you. You turn around to see another group of 2 squads of 8 mechs as they've just come up from underneath. Right, where is it?
It's in a pile just over there. Looks like you get an easy paycheck today.
Yeah, you're a little late to the party.
And you can just hear like the disappointed sighs and the god damn it from the other pilots as they kind of just like shuffle around. And it's like, you see them, you see the mechs are literally just kind of like, just shuffling their feet around like what, like everybody was ready to go, but now there's nothing to do. And then after like a minute or two, you hear the as the elevator clicks back, and it just starts to go back down, and these 8 mechs just disappear from sight. And a couple minutes after that, it raises back up top, and Commander Slab is there with her staff. And you see just a team of scientists just go sprinting past you to this kaiju. As they want to get their hands on it right away. I mean, it's been 10 years since nobody knew everybody thought they were gone, and all of a sudden one's here. They've got to get their hands on it. So as I see that you disembark from your mechs to go meet the commander, and she greets you there. Well done, boys. It's been 10 years, but y'all still seem to have it. So, what? You got anything to say? What happened up here?
We came, we saw, we killed it.
We kicked his ass.
Well,
What we do.
Cowboy, I'm glad to see you're all right. We saw you go over the side of the hill there, and well, I'll
It was
be
a
honest.
distraction technique. It was part of the plan.
Well, it definitely
Maybe you
appears
should have had
to
a
work.
saddle.
Well, I don't have y'all as my top squad for nothing, y'all. I did not expect. I never really thought we were in danger with this, but I did not expect you to deal with it by yourselves. So thank you all very much, and you have earned some time off for sure.
Well, Commander, all due respect, that's a huge slab of well, money. And I look forward to the pay raise that I know we're probably going to be getting.
Oh, I'm sure bonuses will be in order. Well, we'll obviously sell the parts, but there's, and you can just see her eyes have gone big like this. There is money to be had if the kaiju are back.
And just one of the things is we're walking away, Wildcard's going to turn over to Cowboy Danger. And in kind of an unusual moment, turns over is like, I thought I was the one with the death wish. Are you okay?
As I said, it was part of the plan. It was a distraction technique, and it worked.
Just making sure. I'm fully expecting it was my time, but because that's what I do. But I did not expect you at all. But you realize too, you buy it again because you missed. And puts his arm around her on the side of her arm and like, in a loving kind of way, like commanding way, is like, "You're good. You're good."
So as you're all just moving back towards the elevator at this point, heading back down, all of a sudden the first in command, the Commander Slabs, second in command comes running up. Commander, and he's got his hand up to his ear. Commander, we're getting reports of kaiju attacks all over the globe. Madrid, London, New York. Yes, ma'am. All over. This is, it's definitely coordinated. We don't know what's going on. And as he's talking, one of the scientists comes running over. Commander. He's holding on to this piece of electronics. And it's covered in gore and blood. Commander, we cut this out of its neck. It seems to have been installed in its cerebral cortex. And he hands it over to the commander. And as you look at it, you see clearly the markings of the Euro block. And that is where we will end our adventure for today.
All right.
So, thank you all so very much for hanging out with me tonight. This was an absolute blast. I love Mecha Hack. I'm still pretty new to it. I'm still learning a little bit about it here and there. But this is right up my alley as far as games to play. I love narrative games where we get to role play together. And I love as a GM, I love to just turn the game over to my players, and this game really allows for that. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thanks for those of you that have been out there watching. Let's take a minute and just turn this over to my players real quick, just so they can say hello again. Let's start with you, Jay. So,
hello again. I'm Jay. You've probably seen me here and there. I'm with Jester's Game Day and Scryer Vision on the Emporium of the Wayward Gamer Twitch channel. I'm Neofit3 on the social medias, but look me up there. But thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. This was a blast. I am so happy I did this with you guys. This is great. I've been looking forward to playing with all of you, and it was not a disappointment at all. It was awesome. Thank you so much. I look forward to doing this again with you sometime.
Glad to have you, Jay. Kaeryn.
Woo! That was awesome. Thank you. I love Mecha Hack too, and that ending was just mwah. So I cannot wait to see where this Mechspendables is going to go in future installments. So yeah, that's exciting. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. And it was awesome playing with everybody again, and it was good meeting you, Jay, and playing with you. It's pretty exciting. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Kaeryn. Jeremy, on to you.
Everybody, again, my name is Jeremy. I have a YouTube channel called the Erasmus Expeditions. Please go check it out. I think we've got 3 more subs until we hit 400. I'm really trying to hit that mark before the end of the year, so I would appreciate any love that you're willing to give. Speaking of love, I had a fantastic time. I love Mecha Hack. It's such a fun game. It's really easy to reskin things and kind of tune it in the direction of a specific idea for a pilot and a mech. Tonight playing Romeo is kind of an homage to those characters that you see in the Expendables. You know, the old washed up 80s action movie has-beens that are still trying to make it work and somehow pull it off despite everything. It was a lot of fun, and this was a really neat idea for a campaign or for a one-shot, and you ran it beautifully, Dwight. So thank you very much for inviting me on to play. And as always, everybody that I have managed to play with before, it was fantastic. I love playing kind of jerk characters, and having people to bounce that off of is always necessary. So thank you guys so much for being fantastic sports and for knocking the ball right back in my direction. And Jay, it was a fantastic time playing with you for the first time, man. So I look forward to more in the future.
You too. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Jeremy. And on to Jake.
Yep, I'm Jake, Mini Terrain Domain, and that's where you can find me. This was a blast. This was my second time playing Mecha Hack. The first time was under Jeremy. First time getting to play with Jay, but I've played with everybody else here multiple times in multiple games. In fact, I think Kaeryn was also in that Chrome City one-shot that I played in. That was my first time. It was sort of a spin-off of the Love, Death, and Robots episode.
Sunny's Edge.
The name of, yeah, Sunny's Edge. One of the best episodes of that series on Netflix. And a wonderful game. But this was incredible. This is totally set up, Dwight, just to constantly swap out with different players and keep running in this same unit with different groups. And I'm kind of curious to see what you do with it, because I like the idea of the 4 of us coming together again, but also, you know, seeing one or more of us with different squad mates or entirely different squads taking on kaiju all around the world. I think you did a fantastic job. What a heck of a way to come out of the gate with your first TTRPG stream on your channel. And listen, if you're watching this on the VOD or you're watching with us now and you haven't hit follow, just hit the little heart button. It's so easy to do. Turn on the notifications so that you know whenever Dwight goes live. And yeah, it was just awesome getting to play with all of you tonight.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you very much, Jake. And I have to thank you especially for the guidance and getting me up and running with this. You also came up with a name. I was trying to think of a name for stuff. I'm terrible at titles and names, so I asked Jake. He came up with some ideas, and he jokingly said, "Yeah. I picked one." He's like, "Yeah, you know, I could have called it the Mechspendables." I'm like, "No. That's what we're calling."
I don't even remember what the one
I
came
have
up
no
with
idea.
that was supposed to be the good one.
It doesn't matter. But this is exactly what I wanted. I want to run, like I said, I want to run smaller games. I want to run one shots and small campaigns. But the idea for this is going to be a series that will run whenever we can get people to play. And it will be this group and other people and whoever we can get to play, but it fits because they're mercenaries. So you're not always going to be with the same people all the time. The Golden Girls squad is always going to be the OG Mechspendables, but maybe you'll see some of them fighting with others. But I wanted to set something up that would let us jump into this anytime with anybody, anywhere. So I'm excited to run this more. I'm excited to run other games. Jay's going to run some games for us here as well. So I'm excited. I hope to get Kaeryn and Jeremy on here at some point too. Please, again, follow if you like what you see. Thank you all for joining us. We are going to. I'm gonna do my first. It's my first game. I'm gonna do my first raid because our friends at Alan from CFT RPG, they're over on Mini Terrain Domain. So we are going to raid over there, just to get them some love as well. So make sure that when you jump into that chat, you yell "Big Bearded Nerd" at them when we get over there, or Mechspendables, or whatever the heck you want to yell. So. I'll leave it with this. One of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite authors. It's a shame for stories to go without an audience. So if you have a story to tell, take a chance and get it out there. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. And we're rating in just a second. So here we go. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
All right, how do I know if I'm... okay, we're hosting Mini Terrain Domain. So we good? Are we clear now then?
Yeah, technically you can still do your transition to your end slate and still do the raid.
Okay.